Hey everyone, Zanyverse here. If you've been on my channel for a while, you might have noticed that I am quite the fan of indie games. Incredible indies and early access excellence main purpose is to show off new and interesting games that actually depend on sales. But what if we go deeper, beyond indie and beyond early access? What if we went to the earliest of the early? That's right, today I'll be showing you 7 promising demos on Steam that you can go and play right now. Our first game is AK-xolotl. It's a top-down roguelite featuring the cutest amphibian, similar to other roguelites like Enter the Gungeon and Neon Abyss. As of right now, the demo is quite sparse, only featuring a wave-based arena mode where you take on a variety of inferior creatures like rats, dogs, and frogs. Don't tell Martin I said this. You can rack up a combo by not getting hits, which will in turn reward you with more points. Enemies drop health pickups, chunks of meat, which is the in-game currency, and new weapons for you to play around with, ranging from shotguns to assault rifles to a sniper rifle. The Steam page also shows the item shop, some form of crafting menu, and one of the bosses that are all currently not available to the player. In Trialout, you play as Mikhailych, a newcomer to the over-the-top, larger-than-life, balls-to-the-wall bloodsport that is driving a car, but fast. The game features a variety of events, like Cross, Rush, and Derby. There's also Domination, Hunter, and Tricks, which aren't in the game yet. Each event you complete will reward you with a new set of fans, which you will need in order to climb up the Blacklist, Trialout's leaderboard. Every racer in a set event has their own health bar, meaning you can quite literally kill the competition. You buy new cars from the scrapyard by purchasing a skeleton and installing the bare minimum of parts and safety requirements. After you gain enough fans, you get to challenge your first boss, this being Ivan Comrade, a local Russian hardbase enthusiast, who you race on Alcatraz Island. As I said, this game is absolute insanity. Other bosses include Big Cheese, Joe Boomer, and Frank Woods. The mechanics are pretty good, with the damage model being comparable to that of Wreckfest. You're even able to eject other drivers from their cars. And all that to these bangin' copyright-free tunes. I would have made a Burnout reference or two, but half of you are like 15, so you probably wouldn't know what I was talking about. Fallen Aces is a game published by New Blood Interactive, a name which I'm quite familiar with at this point. The game takes place in Switchblade City, where you play as a guy who might be a detective, I don't know. It plays like it's from the 90s and looks like it's ripped straight out of the pages of a comic book, with every asset being hand-drawn by one of the developers himself. Very impressive. It's got a heap of cool little details that really help make the game feel more fleshed out. You can eat a banana and make enemies slip on the peel. You're able to throw an enemy's body at his friends. Enemies can be both unconscious and dead, with unconscious ones being able to get woken up by their criminal friends. You can use a lighter in order to light up dark areas at the cost of only having one hand left to punch with. You can lure enemies in front of a tram, with the results being exactly what you expect. Later in the demo there's also a 9mm, which sounds oh so good. This game looked so good that I was originally going to cover it on Early Access Excellence, before realizing that it was only a demo, so I had to lob it in here instead. Regardless, Fallen Aces truly feels like a passion project, made by people who clearly love what they're doing. Bonus points for having Gianni make a 6-minute bit about taking a dump. In Cultic, you take on a cult. Pretty self-explanatory now that I think about it. Set somewhere in the 1980s, judging by the amount of old weapons and typewriters that can be found, you play a nameless individual who decides to take on his local group of devil worshippers after they slaughter his town. This game's art style is fucking beautiful, by the way. It's similar to like 7 other games that I've played, but it still manages to be unique. You've got access to a bunch of fun weapons for you to kill with. An axe, a pistol, a stance-up machine gun, and a Molotov that you have to manually light. It's currently only got 1 level, but there's also a wave-based survival mode where you take on all sorts of cursed shit like undead knights and scaly men. The music is pretty good too.
It's a rigged game.
Madshot is a fast-paced, parkour-filled side-scrolling roguelite shooter in which you take on a wide cast of Lovecraftian monsters, ranging from zombies to fish creatures to all sorts of fun hentai stuff. The game is divided into 7 zones, each including a randomly generated set of levels. Each completed level gives you a random reward, like health, gold, or enchantments. At the end of each zone, you fight a boss, the first one of these being this worm-like creature named Chthonian. It's a pretty fun boss fight, and I honestly can't wait to see what they do in the future. They seem to have loads of cool stuff planned. Gloomwood is a game that takes place in the city of the same name, consumed by an ancient curse. You're trapped and must find your way out using stealth, an arsenal of weapons, and your epic gaming skills. It's essentially Thief, but with guns. It's also hardcore as shit, because if you even think about taking out more than one enemy at a time, they'll turn you into a red smear on the wall faster than you can say bazinga. It's very minimalistic in terms of its HUD. By minimalist, I mean there's absolutely no HUDs. You gotta manually check your ammo count by flipping the cylinder open. How cool is that? This game's sense of atmosphere is also really good. It's genuinely terrifying, knowing that you're essentially a wet paper towel, taking on a force much greater than you. Project Warlock 2 is a fast-paced first-person shooter built off 3D visuals and 2D sprites, inspired by classics like Quake and Doom 64. It's the sequel to 2018's Project Warlock, a game which I will cover, eventually. The art style is gorgeous, and it really works for this style of game, pitting you against a variety of enemies, skeletons, imps, and pigmen stand between you and your target as you fight your way through castles, dungeons, and keeps. The levels are much more expansive in this one than the last, apparently. I especially love the fast-paced action of this one, with the player never being given a moment to breathe since you're always being attacked from one or multiple angles. The Steam page promises all sorts of cool stuff for the future, such as multiple playable characters, 20 plus weapons and upgrades for each character, and a heavy metal soundtrack, obviously. I look forward to covering both this and its prequel on Incredible Indies. Hey, thanks so much for watching to the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, as I have 158 more videos scheduled for release between now and the inevitable heat death of the universe. Remember when I said that I would be streaming on Twitch? Yeah, fuck that. We're staying on YouTube. You can come catch me live on every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 8 PM CEST. You better be there, or I'll send Ethan to break your kneecaps. I upload every single week, except when I don't. As always, I wish you all the best. I've been Zanyverse. Till next time.